Europe should have a role because we can see that Europe is directly affected by the conflict. Because beyond the games played by Erdogan, there is a pressure on Turkey by the migrants coming from refugees, in fact, coming from affected areas in Syria. So I think, yes, Europe will play a more proactive role if we will be united. And this is a key element. We have to be united, and that's why we have to think to have a real common defense policy in order to have the capacity to intervene in this kind of situation. Because for me, it's rather clear the fact that now Erdogan will open again the borders are not only that he want to use a blackmail with European Union, but also because there is this pressure of refugees in Turkey, and it continue with pressure on Europe. That's why we have to de-escalate the situation in Syria. And that's why suggested why not to think to a no-flight zone in order to stop the conflict and this pressure of refugees. Because otherwise, I think we will not be enough to protect our border. This is an essential thing, and Frontex play a key role, and that's why we have to be able to finance what we decided to reinforce Frontex, because only Greece and Italy and Cyprus and Bulgaria having a border, external border of European Union, we cannot ask only to these member states to solve the problem. But it's not enough to protect our border. We also have to act on the origin, on the roots of the problem. At the United Nations level, this can be proposed and supported by the European Union if we are united. And now in Foreign Affairs Council at European level, after this debrief of Vice President and High Representative Borrell, European Union can take this decision and to support this at the level of United Nations. Not enough, because we see that we are not efficient. So I think that it have to be clear in this kind of situation that if we are not united, and if we don't have a clear common picture about the situation, we are not able to take a right decision. And just to give you an example, in 2016, I was Prime Minister of Romania, and I attended a special extraordinary council discussing about the migration. We were not able to take a decision at that time. Now, 4 years after, we are in a more or less same situation, without a decision, without a decision on the migration and asylum pact, and without a capacity to act together. The situation is more complicated, yes. Erdogan tried to play with European Union and to blackmail European Union. European Union took also some commitments at that time. We have to see in which way each one of the parts implemented this commitment. But what is clear now is that we don't have to leave Erdogan to play these kind of games, blackmailing European Union. We have to be able to negotiate a new agreement taking into account the situation. But such an agreement will not be enough, because if we will wait another 4 years or 5 years to wait for another crisis, of course, we will leave again to Erdogan the possibility to play this kind of games with the European Union. We have to take also a decision on migration and asylum pact. 2 or 3 weeks ago, our group, Renew Europe group, proposed it publicly, and we had a debate with the Commissioner Johansson and Vice President on migration about a proposal, common position paper that the group proposed on how to build a new migration and asylum pact and to be realistic in what we can do. But we need this kind of decision inside of European Union. Otherwise, we are weak. You know, when he has means to pressure us, we have to solve our problem. And that's why I said that it's not enough to correct and to solve the problems in emergency situations. If we don't have our global approach about how to deal with asylum policy, with refugees, with migrants, when we have this kind of pressure, yes, we will find emergency solutions to solve the problem. But this is also because European Union was not present enough in the Syrian conflict in order to try to prevent this kind of situation. And again, of course, what Erdogan it's not correct, and we cannot accept this kind of games. But we have to see how to become stronger as Europeans in this kind of discussions and negotiations with Erdogan or with others. We are waiting to see what the Commission will propose. Next week, in the plenary session, we will have a debate in the Parliament with the presence of the Commission, with Vice President Borrell, and we have to see the problem in a larger way, to see what kind of solution we have at our disposal in order to solve this problem, and we will see what the Commission will propose and how to combine different measures in order to obtain the result that we want. We also have not to forget our values, and the solidarity is one of our value. But this solidarity have be part of a larger process. So we have to be able to protect our borders, to be solidar also with the people in need, and to see what kind of means and resources we can mobilize in order to solve this problem. And first of all, not to leave alone Greece and Cyprus and Bulgaria and other countries, but mainly Greece now, because Greece is under the pressure. I fully understand, but you know, this is because the Greece is under the pressure. But when you see the children and these people who live conflict areas, we have to understand that these people are also under the pressure. So that's why the solution should be a complete one. Yes, but this will not solve the problem alone. We have to be able to control our frontier, our border. So this is the first thing. But then we have also to find solution. Maybe these corridors that we talking about. So to control not only the border, but to control also the process on how to help these people who are in need. Our group is very supportive on this idea also, to discuss about how to build and to implement this idea of corridors. We will see. This is an idea to go to the roots of the problem, because again, if we are concentrated only on what happened to our border, we are concentrated on the effects, but we have to see the roots of the problem.